From Whittles Field, this is Archbishop Spalding Lacrosse. The Cavaliers suffered a heartbreaking defeat in overtime against Gilman on Friday. They look to bounce back today as they welcome the Buccaneers of Kent Island. Glenn Clark alongside former Cavaliers Sean Hatley and Andrew Scally. Andrew, how long does it take to get over? I know you're actually still not over yourself, and you weren't even on the field what happened on Friday. How long does it take for a player to get past something like that?
Yeah, definitely not over that loss. It was a tough one on Friday night under the lights. But as a team, I mean, I think the mindset is, it's done, right? You can't change the outcome. You played hard, right? Go to the film, make some corrections, and get back after today. Today's a big game. I'm excited to see how they bounce back out of conference play here, but still an opponent showing up to Kelly Family Field here.
Criswell winning the opening face-off with Kaufman picking up the ground ball and Sean Hatley. Were there positives you could take away from even a heartbreaking defeat on Friday?
I think the offense possessed the ball well. They moved it around. They got into their sets. They had some good scoring opportunities. They put up, I want to say, as many goals as they have in their first few games. And the defense played solid. It was just, a couple lapses here and there. But overall, I think, the positive was they were hanging onto the ball, limited turnovers to a degree, which they've been plagued with this season. But, let's see if they can keep that momentum going here.
Not able to convert on the first possession with Newell shooting wide and the Buccaneers getting the backup. So Kent Island goes on the attack for the first time today. The dark blue shirts and shorts, helmets, and white numerals moving right to left on your internet dial. Buccaneers come in today 5-1 on the season. It's a unique 5-1, however, because their last two games, both credited as wins, but both were forfeits against Bennett and Parkside. They are defending 2A state champions. As that shot does not get out of the stick, but there, nice save by Newman as he denies Wilson. And Newman picking up right where he left off on Friday, boys.
Yeah, it's good to see him getting going early here. You're exactly right, though. It's carryover from Friday night. I mean, he was unstoppable, making save after save, really anchoring that defense.
As I did the math, and I was to understand there would be no math, so I was a little bit disappointed by that. But I took off all my shoes and did that math. 21 saves for Newman against Gilman. He was on fire, and he has really come into his own. This is still, we talk about some of the young players on this team, like Robbie Hopper, who have really stepped up. We are seeing Newman really settle in as that guy for the Cavaliers moving forward, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, 21 saves, that's all you can really ask from your goalie, right? He kept them in that game. I mean, they had some shots right on the doorstep that Newman was able to gobble up, and, that's, like I said, that's really all you can ask. And there's another one.
Are you kidding me?
And there's another one.
What I wouldn't do is get in the habit of leaving players wide open in front of the cage. That seems not great, as Micah Quinn was breathing in Newman's airspace. But, my God, Newman just continues.
Bailed him out.
Unbelievable. Flag is down. So the Cavaliers look like they're going to have their first man-up opportunity of the day. However, they'll try to cash it in anyway. So 2 huge saves from Newman already today.
And, Glenn, the little thing we talked about last game was the consistency. And, you have great goalie play. Then, one game you have the offense looks like they're really starting to fire on all cylinders. Then you have one game where the defense is playing well. It's just everyone playing like that consistently as a unit is really going to behoove them coming down the home stretch.
Move back to the middle. Ostrowski shoots low, and there's another goalie in this game. It's Casey Heath, and he comes up with a save and comes up with another, and now we'll find out about the penalty.
Looked like they got tangled up down there right outside the crease. Might be
Calling a hold.
Yeah, calling a hold.
So for the first time today.
Oh, I forgot we have Dean Blandino.
That's right. He sees it from a mile away.
I left my stripes in the car, but I'm here.
So the hold is on Quinn.
There's one thing that's consistent is Andrew's ability to call out these penalties.
Speak them into existence.
What do you want to see from the Cavaliers in this first man up? Well, how about that? Yeah, that'll work.
That works.
That'll work. Jack Newell cashes it in before I can even finish the question.
You just saved Andrew.
Right.
Just a bunch of breath.
But no, I mean, that's a great look there. I mean, a continuation from Friday as well. They got a couple good looks inside and capitalized on them, including the game-tying goal with only a few seconds left. Friday night. So I'm interested to see if they go back to that more so, as an initiation on the offense. But I do know, having talked with Coach Ford, they're trying to spread them out today, score early, and keep the foot on the gas.
Newell, his first goal on the day, his 16th of the season. Wilbur gets the assist, his first day, and his 8th of the year. Face-off violation called on Brady Vodenhall. Vodenhall came into this game 55.7% at the dot on the season. And the Cavaliers have it after converting the extra man. We're back to even strength. Spalding now 4-7 on the year, 1-3 in conference play. Stepping out of conference play today, it seems like you're just trying to, again, build some good habits, get sharp again in order to make a push towards the playoffs after this.
Yeah, they've got a tough stretch coming up here in the MIAA, and they're going to have to be sharp. Everyone's going to have to be consistent. So it's really just executing and practicing and playing for that next game.
Dodging right, Wolf sends it down to the near side, and Newell on the redodge. Didn't like what he saw, so he moves it back to Wolf. Buccaneers 5-1, as I mentioned, on the season. Last actual game they played was a loss to Broadneck back on March 30th before those 2 forfeits. They just want to get some game action right now. Duffy, he loaded that one up. Nowhere particularly close, and there was no backup there. Carter Haney is the closest to it.
Yeah, that's going to frustrate Coach Ford. Back-to-back sessions, sandwiched in between with the goal, but no backup, right? So it's a spacing issue. It's guys getting, being out of position and not anticipating the shot.
He throws it away, easy takeaway. Newell by himself, and he'll shoot low and score off the feed from Jamison Kaufman. Gift of a turnover. Cavaliers make him pay to make it 2-0.
And that's the difference, when you're a good team playing at a high level, capitalizing on those turnovers makes all the difference.
Newell's second of the game, 17th of the year, team leading 24th point. And Kaufman picks up his second assist, 6th point on the season. Don't really know what it was that Heath was trying to do with that ball. It seemed like he just wanted to roll it to Jamison Kaufman, which is odd. I'm going to guess that his head coach, Robert Woolley, disagreed with such a decision.
Well, I'll tell you what, Spalding's been on the wrong end of a couple of those same situations, so it's nice to see them on the right end of that one.
7:27 remaining in the first quarter. Quick start for the Cavaliers. These programs, not a lot of history between these teams.
No, and I'm curious to see how the energy level is throughout the game. I mean, it's easy to get up for your BLs, your McDonoughs, your other in-conference rivals, but a team that you haven't seen often, public school team. State of Maryland, they're close, right? They're right in the backyard, but, again, like you said, not a lot of history.
Next midfield out there, Gordy Bennett. Flips it over to Garza. Garza steps down. Can't get it on target. At least seeing Garza, he has a lethal shot, just still trying to sort of corral it to be able to place it where he wants to place it.
Yeah, he definitely has a quick release, and he's finding himself in some pretty good scoring opportunities. And when, like you said, he tears that net down when he gets a hold of it.
He denies Newell. Rebound scooped up by Gavin Henry. Buccaneers look to clear, unlike the last time. And they'll try the near side of the field. Chase Kelly will scoop it up off the turf, complete that clear. I mentioned
good heads-up play by Wilbur to get back so they can release that defensive midi.
Buccaneers haven't been able to play any games this month, but they did get the opportunity to go be feted, celebrated in the state senate for winning their state championship a year ago. Neat moment for those kids. Travel to Annapolis. Were recognized with a Senate resolution for being the defending 2A state champions. Defeated Huntingtown in that title game a year ago. Team the Cavaliers played earlier this season. That one will be thrown away as Kaufman comes in, scoops up the ground ball.
He's going to rumble and stumble.
He's thinking about it, isn't he? No,
he's always thinking about it when he comes down on that end of the field.
Good movement, but Cavaliers can't take advantage of it as Pokin is trying to get it down to Newell, but Newell decided just to back it out.
Yeah, and that's a great play. Oftentimes throughout the season we've seen, pushing in transition in times when it's not, optimal. You just had a great stop on defense, came down. First couple possessions have been successful. Get the ball, go 6v6, get in your set, and go from there. So great heads-up play by Newell.
I want to shout out the unsung MVP. Always, let's watch Newell first. Another nice save for Heath. He's been on one today, too, other than that turnover.
Definitely seen the ball, and they're testing him high, testing him low. He's making some good saves.
Unsung hero of the day is our partner, Sean Hatley, who is stuck behind the monitor today. And because the sun is going down in the distance, he can't really see anything on the monitor, so he is contorting his body in every type of way in order to be able to look around the monitor. I believe he asked if we could share a chair.
I was going for your lap, Glenn.
Right.
But
we'll
just trying to bring the best commentary we can to
we'll
the stream.
see what's necessary, as that was impacted on the stick of Wilson.
I don't know what you're going to do without Andrew and I carrying you.
Right. Getting topside or trying to. Why not? Being given nothing. Oh, absolutely nothing. However,
bailed out.
Meehan.
Looks like, what do you think? He'd give him a hold?
I don't know if it was a hold or if it came in with a cross check, with the help defense there.
Why not? With no angle, tries the shot anyway, and Meehan will grab it.
Oh, they did get him with a hold.
Indeed. Hold is the call. Who's Dean Blandino now, huh?
Yeah, Sean's over here. But he came to me. He asked. That was very polite and respectful. What do you think? What do you think there, sir?
Let me just tell you, I'm Gene Sarator, which is obviously you're doing the XFL.
Wow, wow, that's rough.
I don't know. I think that was a case of a blind squirrel right there with Sean. We just got done saying you can't see.
I've been called for that hold too many times. I knew exactly what was going on.
First extra man opportunity of the day for Ken Island. 30-second penalty. 15 seconds already gone by. That's good movement, and that's a really easy toss into the net as it's put home by Micah Quinn to make it 2-1.
I got to say, Glenn, I wasn't overly impressed with the effort from the man down on that.
Okay.
It looks as though, when you're man down, and I'm sure the people at home know, you need to be busting your butt to get back into the hole. As soon as your man passes it, you're back in. I saw a lot of jogging. When the ball moved, I saw some jogging to get back in, and that's what happens. When you don't get in, you don't get down. They move the ball quickly. They're going to hit you in those vulnerable spots.
So they get on the board for the first time today, converting the extra man, and now the Buccaneers have an opportunity to tie this game up as we go under 4 minutes to play in the first quarter. And it becomes a little bit dangerous, the idea of letting them hang around and feel like they're very much in this one. Nice play over on the far sideline. CT.
Looks like they let them play on that one.
You thought that could have been a flag?
Could have gotten them with a hold.
Almost as if the Lacrosse gods are listening. They say, we're going to give the ball right back.
Yeah, going back to your comment, Sean, about the lack of effort there, it goes back to my original comment about energy.
Yep.
Right? I get a sense that it's a little flat right now, both offensively, defensively, and on the sideline. A couple big saves. You hear a little bit of chatter from the sideline, score a goal, a little bit of chatter, but not like we were seeing on Friday night. Right? They were excited for the game. They were everybody from the top of the depth chart all the way down. They were engaged and they were excited. Granted, it's a short turnaround, so I'll give them a little bit of leeway there as far as energy level goes. But it's a team that's in your way.
Yeah.
Right? Every win that you can stack in that win column is critical for this team, not only from an experience standpoint, but a momentum builder going again into the BL game at the end of the week.
Yep. And I mean, when you're playing in this conference, you can't have to quote one of my favorite movies, you can't have a case of the Mondays. Right, you have every single day you have to go to work and you have to improve. You can't take a day off because it only ends up snowballing.
Which is why I appreciate you wearing all of your flair today. It's going to help a lot. Kaufman swims his way through to complete the clear. Claxton's shot not on target last time down for the Buccaneers. Let me go back to the thought that I was laying out. On top of that, on the flip side, if you're Ken Island, this is an opportunity for you to knock off a private school team. This is an opportunity for you to take down an A-conference power. And so they're probably going to be a little bit more geared up for a game like this. That can be a lethal combination.
Absolutely.
Garza gets free, not on target. Backup is there from Howard. They appear to be fired up early. Cavaliers have to match that energy as we go under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. And then you add in, I think, to all of that, the disappointment of how things went on Friday night, right?
Well, I mean, I also think, Andrew and I could probably both attest this, having played for way too long, and this is nothing against Ken Island, but, you don't want to play down to the level, right? I mean, Spalding plays at such a high level. They're in the best conference. I know I've said it before. You can't play down to your opponent's level because when they show up, that's how upsets happen.
Yep.
Listen, we just said it earlier. Ken Island's going to going to Annapolis to get championship rings.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what conference you're in. To go the distance in any conference and take it home is no small feat. So they're definitely coming to play, and they know how to play the game.
As we tick down towards 1 minute to play, that one will be thrown away. Last time down, Cavaliers are trying to get it inside to Pokeness. The other difficulty is we go into this final minute of the first quarter. Oh, what a snag along the near sideline. Great interception from Wynot. And that's a broken stick, so Meehan's got to race off the field. Dangerous times right now, though they're stuck with a long pole out there. Hoffman just has to flip it off. It turns into a pretty good look for Hooks, but he can't get it on target.
Yeah, I got lucky there. They had an attackman on the backside pipe that was wide open. One extra pass. I think that's a layup.
Meehan stick still laying on the turf. And a good
slide.
double.
Good slide by La Rochelle.
That's got to be a crease call.
Yep.
Indeed it will be. 27 seconds. The Cavaliers get it back.
Ben Ruiz stuck over here.
Some
Was
trouble.
able to get that off.
Yeah, gets it ahead. Toby Lease getting some early run in this game. 11 seconds, so Strowski trying to make something happen. And they're going to throw it away. It won't be saved. 2.6 seconds left. The only time Ken Island will just have to pick it up and kind of chuck it towards the goal. Hooks will be told he's got to go back to midfield. Indeed, he'll fire it as hard as he can, not on target, and that brings the first quarter to a close. Bit of a lethargic first quarter, but Cavaliers are in front, 2-1. You're watching Archbishop Spalding Lacrosse.
As you walk these halls, you'll find innovation, charity, adventure, creativity, endurance, guidance, and if you let them, these halls will take you anywhere.
Start of quarter number 2 here at Whittles Field. Spalding in front of Ken Island 2-1. Glenn Clark alongside of former Cavaliers Sean Hatley and Andrew Scally. Guys, one other note today, because it is a public school matchup, no possession clock either for today's game. We've seen that a couple of times this season, and it's got to be a little bit odd at kind of going in and out and adjusting to it. What is that actually tangibly different? Do you still try to operate as if there's a possession clock today, or do you do different things in those circumstances?
I think offensively, nothing changes, right? I mean, every day in practice, you're going out and you're practicing your sets and your actual set plays, thinking that there's a shot clock and acting as, and in practice, they actually will the clock out there to emulate what's going to happen in the game. So offensively, no, nothing changes. You always have that biological clock kind of just going constantly. So, no, all things are staying the same offensively. How about you, Sean, on defense?
I mean, defense, you can't get down early, right? Because then you're having to overextend, pressure the ball. I think if Spalding just keeps playing the same defense they've been playing, I think they'll be all right.
Second face-off violation of the first half for the Buccaneers. So the Cavaliers get it to start the second quarter, trying to get their offense coming to life. Gordy Bennett, hard dodge, gets inside, switches hands, and scores. 3-1 Spalding, not even 30 seconds into the second quarter. Gordy
made that look easy.
He did. I mean, nice Nice hard dodge down the alley, no help defense. Got back to his left hand, changed the
slide
plane,
was
and
late.
buried it.
First of the day, 6th of the season for Bennett, his 11th point on the year. And Spalding scores first here in the second.
And I think Ken Island got taken a little off guard there. They slid, but then he beat the slide, and I don't think they were ready to have another slide go to Gordy Bennett.
Criswell not able to hold on to it, had it won. And is it a hold? It's going to go back to the Cavaliers. Criswell, by the way, came in today 50.5% on the year. Was right about that number, 11 of 23 on Friday against Gilman. Another young player on this team. We've talked about it all season long, all of the youth.
And I think they like the matchup with Garza.
He attacks. Didn't like what he saw, sends it back behind. Matassa, who had the assist on the game-tying goal that forced overtime in the closing seconds on Friday night. Bennett back to X. Garza set a screen. He didn't go with it, so they'll just keep it moving. I'm so inclined to look to see where they are in the possession clock, and there's nothing to see.
Got to move it again. They had a slide.
Long possession, back up top. Newell to the near side, and Bennett.
Yeah, I think from a coaching standpoint, without that shot clock, you still want to operate as if there is. But if you don't see something that you like, being vocal from the sideline, saying, guys, there's no shot clock, let's pull it out, let's get a reset, let's get into a set that we actually like.
Nice move by Garza as he got in front, but he just couldn't get it on Cage.
Yeah, you want to see him take that one more step. It looked like he kind of shied away from that. Well, he kind of shied away from that slide. You want to see him kind of lean into it and maybe puts that home.
Garza sends it up top. Newell thought about it, thought better of it. So again, no clock running. Take all the time you need.
Nice throwback.
Oh, and a nice save by Heath, but Bennett picks up another save. That didn't get over the line. Unreal. Wow. And Bennett ends up in the crease.
Now we got a fast break going the other way.
Give Casey Heath a lot of credit, man. He has been under duress and has made a ton of saves. Somehow holding on to that burn. And then the flag will come out. And it'll be the second. Yep.
Yeah, they're going to get Robbie Hopper. His stick kind of got caught up in the neck of that Ken Island player.
So, Hopper indeed heads to the sideline. 30 seconds. Ken Island converted their first man-up opportunity of the game. How about Casey Heath, though?
Keep him in the game. I mean, they've had a couple good looks. The good shots have gone, but he's made a handful here early, and that's huge for a goalie's confidence, but also the 6 guys playing defense in front of them. And then conversely, offensively, you got to be a little frustrated, right? Shots that should be going aren't going. You're doing 99% of the work correctly, except for the last 1% that is in fact burying the ball in the back of the net, and just seeing the ball sometimes early go in builds that confidence for the rest of the game, and then it kind of builds momentum. But here they're kind of being stalled.
And also look like the shots that have been going for Ken Island for Spalding have been low. All the ones that they've been going high have just been gobbled up by Heath.
Interesting. A great move to get in front, and wow, what a finish through the contact. Mark Reese makes it 3-2.
Looked like Spalding was in a zone.
I couldn't quite tell if the penalty was up yet or not. It was right on the edge.
Sorry, we're still just couldn't get down fast enough.
I got to go back to the energy level. I mean, if you know that you're the base in that zone, you got to go down there, not with a poke check with his, you got to come with body, meet him at goal line extended, turn him away, have him go back behind the cage, or have him throw forward, and play from there. But
they tried going low that time. Heath said, "You don't think I can go low?"
Yeah, Heath.
Watch
made me eat my words.
Another great save, long outlet pass. Thought it was on stride.
It was on target.
He did his job.
Yeah.
Vodenhall couldn't come up with it. That's the face-off specialist who is still out there because everything happened so quickly after Pokeness'
another
shot.
one.
And another one low.
And Andrew, down here on that man down, you also need to be, Logan Mahan needs to be screaming because he sees that guy drifting across, right? That's no longer his assignment. So he needs to be talking to his teammate to let him know, get down here. And it just looks like they were kind of assuming everyone was going to be where they needed to be.
Not all that surprised by Casey Heath's success. He's a D1 commit. He's headed to play at Lehigh. He is well known. Kid is
Patriot
a talent.
League. Right?
It's correct. It's in Pennsylvania. Do you want to name other Lehigh things?
That's all I know.
I believe it's in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. No. Yeah, it's Bucknell. Thank you. Allentown. That's right. I was going to get there eventually. Ben Duffy's shot.
Was a good
not
take
on target.
Ben.
I used to do a Patriot League basketball game of the week, so I made a lot of trips up to the middle of Nowheresville, Pennsylvania.
So we were wrong on a couple pieces of trivia there, but Sean, do you have any trivia for today's game you'd like to throw out there for our listeners?
Is this a new segment?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
it
Well,
sponsored?
here's the one. Here was a question by Mike Cinco, who was a Spalding Lacrosse alumni.
Flag is
Who
out.
held the Anne Arundel County scoring record when Kyle Dixon broke it?
Oh, I totally know that. I have no idea. No clue.
Andrew, you got the answer?
Next commercial break.
Oh, I like that. Leave the crowd hanging. Let's see if everybody does what I did and Google it.
Man up for the second time today for the Cavaliers. They converted their first opportunity with the extra man. Trying to make it 2 for 2. Penalty. It's a 2-minute for contact up to the head.
And again, the trivia question for everyone at home. When Kyle Dixon, Spalding grad, broke the Anne Arundel County scoring record in 2002, who did he surpass? And Andrew Scally's going to have the answer for you next break.
I really feel like you should have given this a corporate sponsor. Gordy Bennett moves it back to the middle. Wilbert. Quick movement. Tough angle
Another
shot.
save.
And Heath comes up with another one.
Brought to you by Glenn Clark Radio.
Was that the shot to take when you're in the middle of a 2-minute penalty and you have no shot clock?
I don't think so. I mean, for a goalie that's seen the ball as well as Heath is so far in this game, you got to move him pipe to pipe. And what I mean by that is you got to change the field, send the ball back and forth, and have him literally shuffling his feet, turning his head, and you're going to beat him with ball movement. So as he's transitioning to that opposite side, you're putting the ball in the back of the net.
So as much as I question
I'm
Komen's decision,
Not quite sure what just
what
happened.
What exactly was Ben Betcher doing there? Was there like a dare? I dare you to take a shot from out
I don't
here?
purport to know all lacrosse strategy, but
Right.
I am racking my brain to understand.
Well, it wasn't an empty goal. That would have made sense if it was a 10-man and the goal was empty, but that wasn't the case. Newman was very much between the pipes.
I think you saw his teammate kind of jawing at him a little bit about that decision.
I don't know. I'm befuddled, and you guys were the experts, so I was really hoping that you could explain it to me because I didn't understand that
For
one
once in
at
my life,
all.
Glenn, I'm speechless.
Right. Whoa. Oh, can we keep it that way? 59 seconds remaining on the penalty. And Spalding will take a timeout to say, hey, maybe we take better shots on the 2-minute penalty. 3-2 game, Spalding in front of Ken Island with 6:18 to play in the second quarter. I used the word lethargic at the end of the first quarter, guys. Is that the way you've just sort of felt in general about this game? It just sort of has a lethargic feel to me.
Yeah, I mean, it was a quick turnaround from Friday's game, which had extra play, right? I mean, they had another 4 minutes of action there, but practice on Saturday and then, quick turnaround here. There's no energy. And I said it earlier, that it's both sides of the ball. And on the other side with Ken Island, they're getting a lot of support from their goalie, making saves that he shouldn't be making and really keeping him in the game. And that's, gets your defense fired up, it gets your offense fired up, and they're going toe-to-toe right now.
Sean, how do they get into gear right now between now and the end of the first half?
I hate to say it, but sometimes it's that fight or flight feeling, right? I mean, it's not necessarily going to pop up right now in the second period, but I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a little bit of panic from Spalding here if this is a 3-2 game going into the third or fourth quarter. I mean, it comes from within, and these guys have to do it. And the coaches can scream and yell all they want, but
There's
nice.
a good look. Great decision by Garza, who fakes the shot and goes right back to Newell.
But it's going to come down to the guys doing it, and I hate to say it, but there's going to be some external forces that are going to prompt some of that response.
And for Jack Newell, this half is his recital. He thinks it's very vital to rock a rhyme. That's right on time. Hat Tricky is his title. 4-2 Spalding on Newell's third of the day, his 18th of the season. And a really nice look from Garza on there. Really sold that he was loading up to shoot, and right at the last second saw wide open Newell and delivered it to him instead.
And Glenn, the good thing about it, still 26 seconds left on that non-releasable penalty, so hopefully they can capitalize, one, potentially two more out of it.
They have the advantage on the wing, so they just scoot it out to Garza, who picks it up. They're not in much of a hurry to try to take advantage of it. Now they'll speed things up a bit. Wilbur gets it inside. Newell shot. Stick was hit as he was releasing it. Just 6 seconds remaining on the penalty.
Yeah, it looks like they're getting into set play here off the end line, so keep an eye out for a hard cut from up top.
Bennett operating from X. Wasn't there. Penalty killed off. Garza steps down, and Garza bangs it home.
Just the way Coach Cottle drew it up.
Yep.
First of the day for Diego Garza, 14th of the season, second point of the game, 20th on the year, and 2 goals. That one might not have been an extra man goal because the penalty ran up a second earlier, but it was essentially an extra man goal because they weren't settled yet. They were able to take advantage of that 2-minute penalty to score 2 goals.
And it's good to call his name again. He was a little quiet on Friday night, had a couple shots that rang off the crossbar with some high heat, but that one changed up a little bit. Went high to low, froze Heath, and buried it.
Clean win for Criswell is, again, Ken Island dealing with those 2 face-off violations already in the half, and that certainly has impacted them at the dots.
And, Glenn, just to go back to that man up, I like the aggressiveness where instead of you could just hold it, wait for them to even up and get into your offense, they went to the cage, had a play drawn up, and got themselves a goal.
Bennett sends it back behind, moving a little bit quicker, bit sharper offensively. The crispness has returned. Garza spins free. Thought he was going to let that one fly. Chooses not to. Wilbur dodging left. That's deflected. Pokiness had a shot at it, couldn't come up with it. Remains on the turf and ultimately bounces back over to Heath. Smart decision, sort of tossing it in Heath's direction to allow him to pick up the ground ball. Now Byrne pushing. He's going to decide that discretion is the better part of valor there. And after a 2-minute penalty, no flag.
And add that to Robbie Hopper's cause turnover list.
Just a torture chamber whenever you're around Robbie Hopper. He wants to take the shot, and no backup.
Goalie ball.
Pokiness was trying to hang around to be available for Hopper, and then smartly Heath gets out and gets the backup.
Yeah, that's a shot that Coach Ford is going to probably disagree with. You just went from putting a couple in the back of the net in the man-up situation. At 5-2, you settle that up, no shot clock, you bury another one. It almost feels like a backbreaker for Ken Island here in the second quarter, but instead goes into a turnover, and now they're playing defense again.
I think that idea from Heath to try to bounce that pass ahead to Claxton doesn't work out, but they get it back. Why not comes away with it? So Ken Island, yes, they could very much use a settled possession considering how much they've had to defend for the last 5 minutes. Green. Kaufman on him. Now coming the other way, Claxton. Wilson. Kind of a surprise shot. Did that? No, it did not go over the line.
Ball had a little spin on it.
Whew.
Came right back.
Newman gets it ahead. Outlet pass. Snagged by Ruiz. Go under 3 minutes to play in the second quarter.
Defense was pretty quiet on that possession. I didn't hear a lot of chatter from the defense.
Yeah, I think that's been the theme here early in the game, both sides of the ball. But here's Spalding, 66, settling up a little bit, taking a little bit of time off the clock, getting all their men out.
They've gotten a little separation, leading 5-2. Wolf, all the way to goal line extended and back to X. He's got Chase Kelly back there with him. Kelly. Wolf gets to the near side.
Step in.
You know, Ostrowski had a lot of space there, huh?
Yeah, 15 yards. He probably had about 10 free in front of him.
Running shot from Duffy is impacted. Off the stick of Aiden Henry. Stays with the Cavaliers. Wolf again will operate from X.
Yes, they're here in a 31 look, one man behind, shorty matchup with 4 guys.
Wolf gets inside, makes him pay. Let me hear your howl, Sean Hatley. Come on.
For a split second, I almost let that rip.
But yeah, that's a great set there. They're in an open look, really not an open look. They have one guy on the crease, shorty matchup behind. Really gave him that space to come above the goal line and operate, and he capitalized there.
First of the day for Jake Wolf, the sophomore, second on the season, makes it 6-2 Cavaliers with 1:53 to play in the second quarter. Take me back to Ostrowski's thought process, Andrew. Walk me through distance, space, when it is that you're supposed to pull the trigger, when you're supposed to keep it moving, because that's still a difficult shot from that far out.
Yeah, Spalding was in their weave look, and Ostrowski dead center. You know, he's at 15 yards. His first motion was to then be the exchange guy, continue to his right, look for that guy coming across the top to flip him the ball. In reality, if he picked his head up and looked at the cage and saw some options inside, he realized that the defense was sloughed down towards the crease, and he had about 10 yards to step in and either be a threat and draw a slide to then move the ball, or step in and pull the trigger, as you mentioned, and really had no one in front of him.
Ultimately, they convert on the possession anyway. We tick towards 1 minute. You assume the Cavaliers will try to hold on to this one. Take a last-ish shot of the half.
They're going back into that same look. So they have the shorty matchup. They have the roll-off guy coming off the crease.
Whoa, Wilbur, they were just a little bit behind as he was trying to get it back to Newell. No, sorry, that's Matassa, actually.
Heath is active in cage. He's not afraid to come out of the cage and pick up a ground ball. He's not afraid to push the ball up to, draw a slide to find an open man. We saw the bounce pass. He's creative in cage, which is, fun to watch right there, just aware and pick the pass off.
Flag down.
That was a cross check?
I think that was a slash on Robbie Hopper.
Slash. 15 seconds to play in the half. Of course, if they don't shoot it, they could have... So that's an interesting decision, right? Go ahead and let that rip from out there instead of holding to try to have possession to start the third quarter.
It is. In that situation, though, they shoot it, they get the save. It's going to kill it. Now they have 10 seconds. They can hold it now with 10 seconds to go into the half. So it's really a win-win situation. If it goes in, they go to the face-off. It's a personal foul, so they would have a man-up face. They can then score, hold the ball, and then get the ball without a face-off for the second half. So I think the pros outweighed the cons in that situation. I don't know if the coach was calling that out, but it worked in their favor.
10 seconds in the quarter, and that's exactly what they're going to look to do, is just hold it out, and they'll have the ball to start quarter number 3. But they will be trailing 6-2. Spalding.
That was close there.
It was close, you're right. It would have been a difference in who had the ball to start the third quarter, but
I don't know what they called.
Well, you know what?
We'll find out shortly.
Stay tuned, and you're going to find out. Cavaliers come to life in the second. They're in front 6-2 at the half. You're watching Archbishop Spalding Lacrosse.
As you walk these halls, you'll find innovation, charity, adventure, creativity, endurance, guidance, and if you let them, these holes will take you anywhere.
Hallmarks of a Spalding athlete. Are they able to compete at the highest level possible? Spalding is positioned very uniquely because they are in one of the best leagues in the state. When they're competing at a high level, that's big time.
It was always known as a great academic school, but we wanted to build a full-rounded school for student athletes. And we knew that they could get to where they're at today.
Since I've graduated from high school, I've watched the campus grow astronomically. Spalding, it laid a foundation for my understanding of teamwork, friendship, and things that were so much bigger than what happened on the basketball court.
They're challenging themselves academically and spiritually, and it transitions directly onto the field where that consistency molds and shapes everybody that's involved.
The future of Spalding athletically is strong and vibrant, and I'm excited for our Cavs.
I still remember my first day.
You're going to grow so much.
You're going to be prepared for success in college and in life.
You will find a deepened faith.
Become a leader.
You're going to be pushed more than you ever have been before.
It's going to be difficult.
And this community will help you become the best version of yourself.
You're about to have some of the best days of your lives here. And when you look back, you will realize you were always part of something bigger.
As you walk these halls, you'll find innovation, charity, adventure, creativity, endurance, guidance, and if you let them, these halls will take you anywhere.
Hallmarks of a Spalding athlete. Are they able to compete at the highest level possible? Spalding is positioned very uniquely because they are in one of the best leagues in the state. When they're competing at a high level, that's big time.
It was always known as a great academic school, but we wanted to build a full-rounded school for student athletes. And we knew that they could get to where they're at today.
Since I've graduated from high school, I've watched the campus grow astronomically. Spalding, it laid a foundation for my understanding of teamwork, friendship, and things that were so much bigger than what happened on the basketball court.
They're challenging themselves academically and spiritually, and it transitions directly onto the field where that consistency molds and shapes everybody that's involved.
The future of Spalding athletically is strong and vibrant, and I'm excited for our Cavs.
I still remember my first day.
You're going to grow so much.
You're going to be prepared for success in college and in life.
You will find a deepened faith.
Become a leader.
You're going to be pushed more than you ever have been before.
It's going to be difficult.
And this community will help you become the best version of yourself.
You're about to have some of the best days of your lives here. And when you look back, you will realize you were always part of something bigger.
As you walk these halls, you'll find innovation, charity, adventure, creativity, endurance, guidance, and if you let them, these halls will take you anywhere.
Hallmarks of a Spalding athlete. Are they able to compete at the highest level possible? Spalding is positioned very uniquely because they are in one of the best leagues in the state. When they're competing at a high level, that's big time.
It was always known as a great academic school, but we wanted to build a full-rounded school for student athletes. And we knew that they could get to where they're at today.
Since I've graduated from high school, I've watched the campus grow astronomically. Spalding, it laid a foundation for my understanding of teamwork, friendship, and things that were so much bigger than what happened on the basketball court.
They're challenging themselves academically and spiritually, and it transitions directly onto the field. That consistency molds and shapes everybody that's involved.
The future of Spalding athletically is strong and vibrant, and I'm excited for our Cavs.
I still remember my first day.
You're going to grow so much.
You're going to be prepared for success in college and in life.
You will find a deepened faith.
Become a leader. You're going to be pushed more than you ever have been before.
It's going to be difficult.
And this community will help you become the best version of yourself.
You're about to have some of the best days of your lives here. And when you look back, you will realize you were always part of something bigger.
As you walk these halls, you'll find innovation, charity, adventure, creativity, endurance, guidance, and if you let them, these halls will take you anywhere.
Hallmarks of a Spalding athlete. Are they able to compete at the highest level possible? Spalding is positioned very uniquely because they are in one of the best leagues in the state. When they're competing at a high level, that's big time.
It was always known as a great academic school, but we wanted to build a full-rounded school for student athletes. And we knew that they could get to where they're at today.
Since I've graduated from high school, I've watched the campus grow astronomically. Spalding, it laid a foundation for my understanding of teamwork, friendship, and things that were so much bigger than what happened on the basketball court.
They're challenging themselves academically and spiritually, and it transitions directly onto the field. That consistency molds and shapes everybody that's involved.
The future of Spalding athletically is strong and vibrant, and I'm excited for our Cavs.
Ready for the start of the second half here at Whittles Field. Spalding in front of Kent Island 6-2. I'm Clark with you alongside Sean Hatley, Andrew Scally. Spalding sluggish to start this one, but has gotten a little bit of separation, now leading 6-2. What do they do a bit better in the second quarter in order to extend their lead here?
Well, looking over at the coaches during the halftime, it looked like a pretty emphatic, speech that was going on. As one group, typically you would see the offense and defense split, brought them in as a group. So I think it's really just lighting that fire, and getting playing at that high energy, fast-paced play that we saw on Friday night.
New goalie to start the third quarter for the Cavaliers, Blake Connor, the freshman. He's played in 4 games coming into today. He's allowed 14 goals. He's made 10 saves. He will begin the second half What more do you want to see from the Cavaliers in the second half, Sean?
Just some energy. Energy and effort to kind of, hopefully shake this funk out and get ready for this next game.
So no face-off to start the third quarter. As you remember, a penalty late in the second quarter on Robbie Hopper for a slash. And so 50 seconds remaining on the penalty to start the second half. Good move in front and bouncing it home, converting the extra man. Owen Wynot makes it 6-3.
And no one's there. It was a missed assignment.
And Sean, that looks like it was the second, second situation where that base defender and the rotation is just not there.
And you have 3 defenders all looking at another defender, trying to say that's your responsibility, right? No one knew whose responsibility that was to come over.
It was somebody's. I'm gonna guess.
But it goes back to it's a lack of communication. You need to constantly be talking. There should be a deafening chatter on the defensive side of the field.
For Wynot, his first goal of the day, his 11th of the season, makes it 6-3. Cavaliers have allowed 0 even-strength goals so far today. They've allowed 3 extra man goals. All 3 times they have been man down. That'll be picked up.
Good play by Nolan Filey.
Pushes it ahead, and it turns into a quick goal for the Cavaliers. Alec Howard converts to re-extend the lead to 4.
Good cause turnover by Nolan that leads right to a goal.
Philly's first point of the season with that assist. And Alec Howard gets his first goal today, 9th of the year, and his 13th point. 7-3. Spalding now with 11:19 to play in the third. Back to the dot where Criswell just picked up his first violation of the second half. And he's going to be called for the push. So we'll go back the way of the Buccaneers. A
little bit of confusion out
there.
Yeah,
a bit of confusion, but Klein ultimately comes away with it. So it belongs to Ken Island. And again, much similar to what we talked about with the shot clock, it means there's really no clearing clock either. You can take as much time as you need today in order to convert the clear.
And this is where
Haney ahead with it. Haney darts his way through, and Haney scores. The long pole gets on the board for the first time this season and cuts it to 7-4 with 10:48 remaining in the third.
I mean, you want to see the defenseman press out on the adjacents when you have a long pole on a long pole. It just went for the over-the-head check, went for the home run check, missed it, and they just couldn't collapse in time.
Yeah, I mean, Sean, you're exactly right. You got to press out on the adjacents, but as soon as you go overhead, you're out of position, and with everybody extended out on the adjacents, it leads a clear path right to the cage, and that's exactly what happened and exactly what the defender took advantage of. Right there, you would love to see, long pole, stay on his hip, ride him out, and just stay on that glove and let him make the mistake. Because ultimately, long pole on the offensive side of the field, it's foreign territory, right? And you can just sit there and wait. At some point, he's going to bring that stick back, and then you take advantage of the trail check if you find yourself in a trail position. Other than that, stay on his body, let the adjacents stay pressed, and wait for the mistake.
Well, and it's easy to start salivating when you see that long pole that you're about to go over the head. But you got to have some discipline, like you said, and stay on his hands.
First even-strength goal of the day for the Buccaneers, and for Haney, the future Gettysburg Bullet. As we mentioned, his first point of the season. Cavaliers prolonged possession after the goal. Still in front, 7-4. Bennett gets free, doesn't take the shot, moves it to Newell, who can't get it on target, was looking near post.
Yeah, I'd like to see some of these, offensive middies and attackmen go back to what Diego had success with in the second quarter there. High to low, right? It's a change of plane right there. Newell kind of dropped his stick, kept the ball low, and then eventually brought up. But the goalie's matching sticks the entire time, and he's proven that he can see the ball, pretty well today. So I'd like to see a nice high to low shot on these wing possessions.
Howard, nowhere to go. Out to Bennett, who couldn't hold on to it, able to grab it. Protect possession for Spalding. Now Bennett thought he might have a path in front of goal, instead backs it out. Possession continues for the Cavaliers. Slow it down. Wilbur started to dodge, now backs it off, looks to re-engage. Briefly drew a slide, feeds it up top. Low to high shot, not on target from Bennett. Howard there for the backup. Long possession right now for the Cavaliers. Wilbur. Now Newell. Newell trying to get topside, has it knocked out of his stick. He's in trouble. Has Klein all over him.
Ball.
Good tough ground ball. Wilbur. Nothing there. Feeds it out. Good move by Bennett. Gets low.
That's in the crease.
In the crease.
And that's an all-or-nothing move right there, right? It's a face dodge, toe drag, if you will. And he's running himself out of angle, and he has that extra defender in the crease. Kind of ran himself out of, shooting angle there, and ultimately fell in the crease.
Good outlet pass, but Hoffman couldn't corral it. Cavaliers get it back. Newell, couple of dodges, but runs out of angle, and Heath stones him.
No angle there.
Was trying to dunk it over Heath's shoulder.
Good hustle by Ben Ruiz. Good hustle by Ben Ruiz to get in there and stop that break.
So he clearly got the stick first. The question that I had was he going to be called for the push afterwards? And the answer is yes.
Take that.
Yep.
Stop the break.
Slow it
Even
down.
Up. Yep.
Glenn, I know you're sitting next to two unbelievable referees here, and Sean and myself,
correct.
but feel free to jump in there and make those calls.
No, I don't want to take. Now, what would you guys do?
You don't want to be a
then?
Monday morning quarterback. You
I wouldn't
call
even.
it live.
I wouldn't even need you around at that point if you're not doing that. Although I wouldn't mind having Sean's beard around. That is just looking majestic today, my friend.
Go to my Amazon store.
From back behind. Why not? To Wilson. A lazy pass, looking for Hooks. Hooks does well to set the screen in order to allow that to be picked back up by Wynot. Again, no shot clock, so no concern. Bobble the ball, throw it away for a second. You got plenty of time to regroup.
Looks like Spalding's in the zone right now.
Wynot nowhere close to goal. Backup is there with Quinn. Quinn.
Back to man-to-man.
Kaufman's on Quinn. He serves it back up top. Claxton.
Dodging Robbie Hopper. All right.
Bold decision. We'll see how it pays off for him, Cotton. Hopper gets a shove in.
Yeah, great.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
With
Good
almost
look, good
no
finish.
angle, Wynot converts. Second of the day for Owen Wynot. And it's now a 2-goal game, 7-5 with 6:26 to play in the third. I ask you this question. Were they too quick to pull Newman from this game?
I was thinking the same thing, but with Coach Phipps and what he's said throughout the season, I mean, all three of their goalies have the ability to play and make saves, and they get a lot of repetition in practice. I don't think the decision to flip them was based on performance in the first half.
Certainly wasn't.
And so I think you stick with Blake here, and you kind of let him settle in a little bit. There's been a couple plays where it's been a lapse in defense. You got a man down opportunity, has some transition stuff go on, and so there's a lot of things going against him at this point. He hasn't really had the opportunity to see a clear 6v6 shot. So let's give it a little bit of time here and see what happens. I think it starts with the 6 guys in front of him, though, and the communication.
And also, Andrew, you're asking him to make a pretty ridiculous save, having to come all the way across the cage, across the crease, to then make essentially a quick stick save. It's a pretty tough task.
It is, and I'm a little surprised that Coach Hochul decided to go out of the zone, which was working for him in the first half of that possession. Ken Island swinging the ball around, really wasn't seeing much, and resorted to a 13-yard shot.
There's a good
from
save
the
by
wing.
Blake.
Connor able to find it after falling on his butt, picks back up.
Hey, great job from Jamison Kaufman to sit and give his goalie.
Hitting the big truck stick.
Again, Glenn, you know how I love to disagree with referees.
Yeah.
And on that one, it doesn't look like
You don't
he
think it was
lowered his head. I don't know if we're going to get a replay here, but
it was Wynot who took the hit.
Jamison did a great job of coming down and hanging out, giving his goalie an outlet. And then I'm just interested to see non-releasable.
So could be a big turning point in this game. Just as they had gotten the ball back, now.
I mean, the only thing I'm thinking is he lowered his head.
Yeah, it looked helmet to helmet. I mean, I saw Jamison as he was walking off on the replay screen, chin strap up around his nose. You know, the Ken Island player had to pick his helmet up off the turf.
What do you expect from a tight end?
Right? I mean,
what do you expect from
that's what they do, yes.
Championship MIA tight end?
And that's
it doesn't excuse it.
as a coach, it's tough to reprimand a player for doing. It's just a hard athletic play.
The crime of aggression.
Yeah, a guy wants to go out there and put it all on the line for your team, and it was kind of a bang play. Tough for the ref to make the call, but he did, and he's now in the penalty box for it. But you don't want to turn that off from Jameson, who plays physically, throughout the entire game.
Good fake, and then the shot denied, was blocked down. Wilson let it rip.
That was a bailout call there. It looked like he jumped in the crease, and they gave him a push call.
Still 1:31 remaining on the penalty. Again, a 2-minute non-releasable penalty, so a huge chance here for Ken Island to try to get a couple of goals, even this back up, erase totally what was a 4-goal deficit. Sharp movement. They've been very good. They've converted. They're 3 for 3 on the extra man today. Connor actually got a piece of that, knocked it down. Oh, trouble on the end line. My word. Ruiz just had to
not, and they missed a moving pick back there as well.
And that was our special guest, Ben Hardy, 12 years old.
He's got some takes.
He knows. Let the boys play.
Ruiz, you could almost see he was like trepidatious to pick up the ball right there because he knew what was coming the moment he did. Barreled down.
But it was a good no call. I mean, he was facing them.
They could 100%.
Yep.
40 seconds remaining on the penalty.
Can't believe I just agree with the referees.
That's weird. Breaking out in hives. Wilson up top. Moves it back to the outside. And Wilson again. They're not really moving it quite very sharply on this extra man. Why not?
Oh.
Wow. Out of nowhere. Explodes low to high, and it's a 1-goal game.
Got him with that fake. Got him with the fake and just got a step. Oof. Is that right over the left shoulder?
Yeah, he definitely came to play. He was the same, he drew the penalty, the initial 2-minute non-releasable penalty, and took advantage of that. I know it was 2 minutes, but this man-up has seemed like an eternity.
Yeah.
They can't get off the field, and maybe it's because Spalding's had 3 penalties, early in the game. It seems like they played most of the game man down, but still 22 seconds left on this 2-minute non-releasable. They got to get a stand here.
3rd goal of the day, 13th of the year for Wynot. Oh, that's a critical face-off violation. My word. An opportunity to tie it up, still 22 seconds on the penalty. They're not even going to get the ball. First face-off violation of the second half for the Buccaneers.
And over and back.
They got the timeout before the turnover. Great call.
Well, here's the other question. Can there be an over and back with no shot clock?
Sean?
I mean,
I don't think we have the answer.
I don't have my rule book.
I don't think we have the answer.
I was really hoping Dean Blandino.
Yeah, right. I just genuinely don't know. Of course, we saw the issue on Friday night where, there was I don't remember who it was that kind of threw the ball away, forgetting that he still had another 14 seconds before over and back goes into play. But how does over and back work with no shot clock?
My question there is, if you look at all the other violations, Criswell immediately gets off the field, and they bring on an offensive midi to pick up the ball. There, they didn't, and left Criswell, who's a Fogo, to get eaten up by a double team.
Do you think they're counting on his cardio in that situation? They're saying, we believe your speed you can outrun.
I don't understand why you don't stick to that game plan. Get an offensive midi on the ball, especially when you know you're going to be double teamed right off the bat. But
first time out of the second half for Spalding with 3:27 remaining in the third. So they'll still have it. 11 seconds left to kill on the penalty. Ken Island 4 for 4 on the extra man today. It's time for us to pay off the phrase that pays, the trivia from earlier in the game.
I think Andrew forgot about
Andrew
it.
Scally, do you want to remind us what the trivia question was?
The trivia question was, which player did Kyle Dixon pass as the all-time points leader for Anne Arundel County in 2012? And the answer is
2002.
In 2002, and the answer is Alex Bitzer, Annapolis Area Christian School alumni. So a school right down the street here, held that record at graduating in 2001 until Archbishop Spalding's Kyle Dixon broke it.
And that was your Spalding Lacrosse question of the day, brought to you by Sean Hatley's Beard.
I wish everyone saw how furiously Andrew was fumbling through his phone to find the answer written down.
It's a new segment, and I promise you, you talk about learn from the tape or burn the tape. I will definitely be learning from the tape.
Glenn is good at catching us off guard and then watching us just go up in flames.
Never put your head down.
I should have said what trivia question.
Keep it on a swivel.
Threw it right back at him.
Yeah, right. Oh, I would have forgotten for sure. And I never knew the answer. Duffy gets inside, but Heath makes the stop.
Right at his stick.
Penalty was killed off. 2.5 to play now in the third quarter. Kent Island with an opportunity to tie this game up.
Ben, do you shoot high to high?
Again,
do you shoot high to high?
The second time we've seen Heath try that bouncer pass today. They'll get it back this time, but I don't believe it's been successful yet. In trouble. Great find. Now a little unsettled. Good job of getting back and slowing that down. Ruiz can't find the loose ball. Ground ball picked up by Claxton. Under 2 minutes.
Tell you what, Ken Island's playing a little bit of passion here. I think they can taste it right now. The momentum is definitely in their favor. Down one here. Minute 45 left in the third.
This is what we talked about back in the first half. You can say this one doesn't matter a ton for Spalding, right? The result is not all that relevant because they're worried about the A-Conference. But you can see how much it matters to Kent Island, an opportunity to knock off an A-Conference power. They came to play today.
And, Glenn, you asked me kind of what do you do to get yourself moving in the effort?
And was it a push or was it just
a
goal? It
Went
bounced in
pipe.
and out for Tucker Claxton.
But, Glenn, you asked, how do you get yourself going? This is the situation I was talking about. This is where you might not have been able to get yourself motivated, but now you're in a tied game, minute 20 left in the third quarter. Now is where your juices start flowing. It's the fight or flight, right? Like, what are we going to do here? We need to get moving.
4 unanswered goals for the Buccaneers. Claxton's first of the day, 8th of the season. And we got a brand new game, 7-7 with just over a minute to play. It'll be Spalding ball.
I think they got him with the hold on Criswell.
So it looks like this would be an opportunity to, again, hold this out and take a last. I always use the phrase last-ish because it's not like you run it with 5 seconds left. But a last-ish shot of the quarter. Prevent the Buccaneers from getting any more momentum going into the fourth.
And that's the thing. I mean, if Spalding can't get a goal here, that I guarantee you Ken Island's sideline is going to erupt after.
Transition, Connor with a huge save.
Great save by
Denies
Blake
Quinn. They still have 45 seconds. Connor's got to decide where he wants to go with it. He's not going to force it down the field. They got time.
Yeah, Connor's hollering at La Rochelle to get the ball up the field.
Right, he's saying clock's ticking. And Wilbur was in trouble, just tosses it over his shoulder, and nobody's there. But Kaufman's going to win it back.
Good ride.
Howard picks it up. 20 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Got to go to work. Wilbur steps into the box. 10 seconds. Got to go. Wilbur. They're not going to run out of time. Nothing. Don't know what happened there, but Spalding does not get a look. Was a flag out?
No. And what did I tell you? Ken Allen's sideline.
Oh, yeah, they're erupting. No question. They are fired up.
Momentum is definitely shifted in the Bucks' favor.
We got a tie game as we head to the fourth. It's 7-7. You're watching Archbishop Spalding Lacrosse.
As you walk these halls, you'll find innovation, charity, adventure, creativity, endurance, guidance. And if you let them, these halls will take you anywhere.
Glenn Clark alongside Sean Hatley and Andrew Scally for Archbishop Spalding Lacrosse. 12 minutes remaining. It's a 7-7 game. Andrew, what happened in those closing seconds of the third quarter?
Yeah, I think it was a lack of situational awareness. I mean, with a low clock situation, there's got to be a call from the sideline. As soon as you pick up the ball, you're taking a peek at the clock, the whistle blows, and you're counting down. I mentioned that biological clock earlier. You got to be counting down in your head, listen to your sideline. And there's also 5 other guys on the field that have visibility to the clock that have got to be talking you through that. And you can't let the ball die in your stick. You at least got to go to the cage, make an attempt in a low clock situation. Resulted in running the clock out and going to the half tied. So really, whether it's youthfulness or if it's just communication or a combination of the two, just a bad sequence of events.
Clean win for Quizwell, but he has it knocked out by Vodenhall. Ball back on the turf to start this fourth quarter as the teams switch sides. Hopper's being held, yes.
Yep.
That's an obvious call, so it will belong to the Cavaliers. Wait. What in the world? All right, so you told me I could start making calls.
Let it rip.
I'm going to regret that decision, because I did not see what they saw, and now the flag's going to come out for offsides.
Wow.
We'll find out. Oh, no, that's not going to go out. It'll be picked back up over on the far sideline.
And there's a difference here between getting motivated and not panicking, right? You need to, everyone, the upperclassmen need to take control. Everyone calm down, play the way we know we can play, right? And let's get one, kill the momentum, and then from there, hopefully the floodgates open.
Quinn spins free, and instead, he's going to score for the first time today. Kent Island is in front. They lead 8-7 with 11:05 to play. Micah Quinn, second of the day.
Connor kind of dropped to his knees and went right over his shoulder.
Yeah, I think Spalding needs to get back to the basics on both sides of the ball here. It starts with communication. It starts with going back to the foundation that they've been working on since early February. Talking through everything, right? There's no play that's too small to talk through at this point. They got to stop the bleeding, and it starts with this face-off.
11th of the season for Quinn. Criswell thinking about it, lets it rip, denied by Heath. It was a good look.
I would love to know how many saves Heath has, because he's
from well outside. Oh, no. A pole goal. Eric Hoffman's first of the day. That's 6 unanswered goals for the Buccaneers, and they're in front 9-7.
And Spalding switching up goalies. Is it like
Cole Whitlinger. Cole Whitlinger comes on. We just learned that's young Ben Hardy's goalie coach. I don't know if you heard.
I think I might have heard.
That was in your pregame notes, though, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
I think you saw that. Cole Whitlinger, sophomore. It's his 5th game of the season. Coming in today, he's allowed 6 goals. He's made 6 saves, stopping half the shots that he has faced.
Good check by Will Cook.
6 unanswered goals here in the second half for the Buccaneers. What happened?
I don't know. I blinked, and they're down 2 now. I think right now Spalding's got to have somebody put the ball in their stick and really step up and say, guys, take a deep breath. Right? I'm leading this charge. Make one play at a time. There's no 2-point goal, right? So let's just take it one play at a time and let's get back in this game.
Sean, we've talked about this all throughout the season. There have been long stretches where Spalding has just gone cold offensively. His Newell's shot's not on target. It's almost inexplicable that they'll go a quarter, better part of a half, without scoring a goal.
And they let the other team go on a run, right? And it's not something. It'd be different if it was just kind of a stalemate. But when they go on these kind of dry streaks, we'll call them, the other team ends up going on a run. They rip off 3, 4, 5 goals. I mean, it's
Wolf steps down. Heath got a piece. He'll find it behind the net.
I mean, everyone pick up a man. They need to ride hard.
And was timeout taken?
I think the defender was injured and
stopping
the clock to let him get off the field.
That is the case.
But for Spalding, I mean, you got to start dialing with the pressure here. So I would love to see him kind of apply some pressure on this ride.
Heath puts his shoulder down. They are feeling alive right now.
Yeah. Flag. Jamison Kaufman just had a little too much momentum. Great
nice save from Whitlinger, but you got to find the rebound. And the crease call will tell us about the penalty.
Yeah, you could see that push coming from a mile away. He just had too much momentum.
Right in the back. 9:09 remaining in the fourth quarter. They will go man down. And this has not been a day to remember for the Spalding man down unit.
From the look on Coach Hockle's face, he is not a happy camper right now.
So the Cavaliers went from up 4 to now down 2, and they got to come up with a huge penalty kill in order to prevent this from getting any worse. Kaufman serving 30 seconds for the push. 4 for 4, Kent Island with the extra man today. 30-second penalty here.
Good pass down by Newell.
Up top, Wilson.
Yep.
Throws it away.
That was needed. Wow.
Yeah, much needed.
But good job on the man down defense. The rotation was there.
Did it say that was
They
tipped?
said it was deflected.
Oh, my gosh.
What? I mean, I'm looking up close on the screen, and I didn't see a deflection.
All right, penalty is up, so that'll be the first penalty kill of the day for the Cavaliers. Now they got to finish the defensive stand.
You know, in a shot clock situation, you know, have we been playing, you know, those rules? They don't have much time to work with now. They get the possession back, and there's no clock, right? They can settle in, and with a 2-goal lead, 8 minutes left in this fourth quarter, they can be as patient as they want to be.
They have every reason to try to use that to their advantage. Kent Island, as Robbie Hopper tries to aggressively get it out of the stick of Claxton. With a lead and no shot clock, they don't have to be in any sort of hurry. Great spin move, but Whitlinger comes up with a huge save on Green. But,
wow.
It'll be saved in, but nobody's there.
Team.
I want to see more body from Newell on that slide. He kind of slid and shied away a little bit from the contact.
Sean, at what point down 2
do you have to start extending?
Are you extending, you know, maybe face guarding some guys? What's the thought process there?
I mean, I think you need to start playing aggressive defense now. You don't have to pull out the get the ball back book of tricks, but you do need to start playing more aggressively than you have. I mean, they need to be on the gloves. I mean, right now they need to be talking who's going, who's hot.
In front, Reese low, not on target. Backups there.
I'll tell you what, Ken Island playing with some confidence here. A little backhand shovel shot right there from 10.
Okay,
everything's falling for him.
Putting a pole behind.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if they extend. Yeah, they were going to try to extend and let Filey go to work, but looked like the call came in a little too late for Ruiz to get out there.
Reese gets free, but another big save from Whitlinger. Now you got to get the clear. Hopper will take it himself.
I want a possession here.
And that's
Smart
what you're going to get.
Yep.
Pokeness will slow down, but they can't get Hopper off yet.
And as you know, for Pokeness, I'm not giving the ball back to a long pole. As a short stick, an attackman, I'm running that ball behind, getting our middies in. But either way, maintain possession, which is great.
So,
I mean, if that was me, you'd probably.
Of course, I'm throwing back to Sean. And, it's 9-8. We're going to the face-off dot. But there's only one, Sean Hatley, and he's unfortunately not wearing a Spalding jersey today.
Every possession critical now for the Cavaliers. Again, on the wrong side of a 6-0 run at the moment that has lasted for the better part of the second half. I mean, since the first
Do you
minute.
see the urgency now? This is what they should have been playing with the entire game.
Garza trying to get free. Ooh, good snag.
Got to keep it hot here. Keep the ball moving.
Newell dodging left, lets it rip. Heath again.
Great save by Heath.
I mean, that's a hip save right there by Heath on a great dodge and great shot. So
that's why he's going D1.
Going to Allentown.
Correct, which is definitely not Lewisburg. Entirely different place.
Same state.
Coming up later today.
Oh,
Sean,
I thought we were just going to start rattling off
Pennsylvania towns.
Yeah, Pennsylvania towns.
That's off blue. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, boy.
What?
Got away with one there.
Whitlinger trying to throw it off a Why Not.
I thought he did, but, the referee 10 yards from the ball made the right call, apparently.
See, I like the aggressive defense from.
I thought you would like the passive aggressiveness
right
by which Andrew Scally described.
I'll get him notes after the game. Don't worry.
Right. Why not? Turned aside by Whitlinger. Rebound not there. No backup. Right decision from Reese. He was open, but no backup there. And so Spalding gets another shot here with 5 minutes to play. And it's starting to feel like this is almost must convert. There's a lot of time, but with no shot clock, you can't really have many more wasted trips. They have not scored since the first minute of the third quarter. Kaufman gets free inside, but no angle.
A couple more steps.
And looking over at the sideline, almost emotionless faces with Coach Ford and Coach Cottle over there. Nothing going their way. Bad decision after bad decision.
Throwing another flag on that.
Philly aggressively trying to get the ball out. And it's going to be a penalty. And it's going to be the sixth man-up opportunity of the day for Ken Island here with 4:16 to play in the fourth quarter. And they are feeling it on their sideline.
They are. I mean, the only bright spot right now on this side of the ball has been Cole in Cage. He came in late in that fourth quarter, has made a couple saves the last few possessions. Unfortunately, it hasn't resulted in anything on the offensive side of the ball. But if they can get off the field here and get down and get a quick one, make it a one-goal game, 4 minutes play. There's a lot of lacrosse to play, but you got to stay out of the penalty box for this last 4 minutes.
Well, and you don't really have the option to extend right now.
Well,
so
they're
going to force it.
Coach Hockle is letting Robbie Hopper go to work.
But he leaves the goal open. Whitlinger has to race back.
Yep.
And they're trying to help you out by throwing it away.
There's that pressure defense.
So here's the question. Do you kill the penalty for 42 seconds or do you try to go even though you're man down?
No.
I think you're opportunistic. I think you see what they give you, but ultimately, you want to kill this penalty, get your personnel on, and go 6v6.
There'll still be more than 3 minutes remaining if they do indeed kill off the rest of the penalty. 25
Andrew,
seconds
do you
left.
just remove another offensive player and just go 4-on-6 and really send a message?
That's bold.
It would be bold.
Right.
It would be bold. I don't know with 3:30 left in the game if that's, what
right.
Coach Ford has drawn up, but we have seen crazier things happen.
Have we, though? Have we actually seen crazier things happen, Andrew? 5 seconds left. Ken Island content.
They're going to come up and pick him up right from the midline.
Duffy operating. Back behind the Matassa. And
good shot.
Really good looking
go.
shot. 1 goal game with 3:04 remaining. Remember, it was Matassa who was operating behind the cage for the game tying goal on Friday night.
It looked like the same play here, and I think that feed was actually for
That's what I wondered.
Just happened to be in the right place at the right time and said thank you very much.
Wilbur's first of the game and his second point, his 4th goal and 12th point on the season. 1 goal game, 3:04 remaining.
Important face-off here.
Drought ends.
Trip.
A over 20-minute scoring drought.
Not giving it to him.
Criswell keeps it alive. Huge ground ball here. Massive, and it's going to bounce out to Hoffman.
4v3 fast break.
Yeah, and Hoffman's not afraid to go. He had the last goal.
He lets it fly, and Whitlinger makes a massive save.
Wow.
Whitlinger throws it a couple steps in front.
Nice ground ball.
Hopper picks it up.
Never a doubt in Robbie's mind.
Hopper, no angle, has it knocked out of his stick. Now
you got to think about timeout here.
Yeah, you have to. And he was about to. Did he step out? He stepped out. I want to re-ask a question, right? Because the goalies have played well, both Connor and Whitlinger, and they've come in. When I asked the question about the decision to pull Newman, I think part of it is, were you sending the wrong message at that point to your team about the game, the situation in the game, when you were up by 4 at that point?
I think it's easy for us to sit up here and kind of say, oh, well, you're sending a message. But I think –
I'm the best at second guessing. I assure you. There is no one that will second guess the way that I will.
I think, it's a non-conference game, and I think Coach Phipps wants to get his goalies to see what they can do in these types of situations.
Can't throw the ball away here. Somehow saved in.
Wow.
Incredible play by Poknes. Incredible.
And honestly, for all intents and purposes, it kind of did feel like Spalding was in the driver's seat.
It
even
did.
Even though they weren't up by that much, it did feel like they were in the driver's seat. And we're all human. Easily, you can kind of get sucked into that feeling. So, I mean, I guess to answer your question is, maybe was it not the right time? Maybe not. But it's like I said, it's easy for us up here to kind of Monday morning quarterback.
Well, they just got to go win the game. Bennett trying to spin free. It's not there. Doesn't force it. Good decision. Back up top, Duffy. Fakes the flip to Bennett. Approaching 1 minute to play. Duffy trying to get free. It's not there. Matassa. Wrap around. No backup.
All right, so now
that one hurts.
The thing is do they have a 10-man ride in the –
It looks like they're in it right now.
Yeah, they're definitely in it. There's no one even close to goal at the moment. It's on the turf, but Wilson comes away with it.
Ken Island with a timeout.
They have to take a timeout. 53 seconds remaining.
So you can't really take someone off. Why not? If I'm Coach Phipps, you put in Robbie Hopper obviously on the ball. I mean, I think you almost double pull the ball here.
I had a thought earlier in the season, and I kept it to myself. I didn't think it was the right moment.
You didn't share it with us?
I think in this situation, in a one-goal game, I'm keeping the goalie off the field, and I'm sending an extra defender out. That way I know I have defenders that can actually cover ground. And it's an all-or-nothing play.
You're sort of saying, if they get a shot, no matter what, the game's over anyway.
Exactly. You got to go, right? So just send them out there, start on double team, and have some guys that can cover more ground. Sean,
I can't believe I don't know this rule. Can you pull the goalie?
Do you have to have someone with a goalie stick on the field?
I thought you had to have someone, with a goalie stick on the field.
I live in a fantasy land, so maybe I'm making rules.
I know.
I mean,
this is incredible if this is correct. That is
obviously, you can give anyone you want a goalie stick. You can give one of your defenders a goalie stick, but do you really want a defender holding a goalie stick out there defending?
I think with 53 seconds, it might be a little early just because you can get some initial pressure and anticipate them taking timeout, and then you can put it in later, in their possession. But either way, it's tough to put your goalie in a situation where he's got to cover ground, he's got to play defense, and hope for a turnover, and then be able to pick the ball up and make a pass downfield.
Each team must have one goalie with full goalie gear on the field at all times.
Full goalie gear, so not just a stick. Okay.
Are those Central American rules?
Honestly, I don't know. It's the first result on Google.
Out of the timeout, we do indeed see 2 polls there. Will Cook not able to come up with it. Somehow, Tucker Claxton avoided it. Cook gets it out of the stick. It's out of bounds. There's 39 seconds left. Clock will stop with 38.1. They probably lost a second in that. But the important part is the Cavaliers got it back.
He's going to pull a timeout here.
Kaufman with it. Some space in front of him. 26 seconds. There's the timeout. 26.1 seconds remaining.
You can't call it till they're in the box.
Yep.
These rules.
26.1 seconds remaining in the fourth. Well,
we've seen it done before.
Does this remind you of something?
They got to stop this, man. My heart can't take this kind of stuff right now.
I'll do what I did on. Let's try to recreate this. Andrew Scally.
Can we do a frame, a picture in a picture here and go to the, side by side? It's honestly about the same amount of time that was left against Gilman. We saw a hard dodge down the side, threw it behind, saw a solid pick inside the free, poked this up. Great feed, great finish.
Are you drawing up the same play?
I think
presumably they saw it on film.
In a short turnaround, I don't know if they did.
Right.
I don't think they got the film. I think they were just saying, hey, let's go out and play hard, and they've done that. Speaking about Ken Island here. So, yeah, I do think they go back to the same play. And if nothing's there, look for them to get back in that 31 look, the open set where they have, they spread the defense out, good hard dodge down the wing, and look for that inside man, in pokeness. So I think you go back to the same play.
It was Matassa who was operating from X on Friday. He was operating from X in that last goal that they just scored.
I will say I think that we have to give Ken Island a lot of credit from the way they came out here from the very first whistle and just took it to Spalding. They were physical and just have outplayed Spalding in effort and, frankly, lacrosse ability at this point.
But it'd still be nice for Spalding to win the game.
Absolutely.
Bennett with it out of the timeout. He'll go back to X. Bennett, 18 seconds, fires it in front, can't connect with Matassa.
Got to get the ball back.
Got to get the ball back.
There you go.
Wilbur gets it, but just 12 seconds to Pokeness. Pokeness trying to dodge free. Goes the other way inside. Oh, he had a man, but couldn't connect with Garza. And from all the way to the other side, that will be how this one comes to a close. Kent Island, you can see how much it means to them to come in and knock off an A-conference power as they take down Spalding 9-8. Sean, that was tough. It was there.
I hope this one stings, because they're going to need that going into these next few games because, I'm kind of speechless.
Andrew, some final thoughts from you?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough going from a hard-fought battle like we saw on Friday night to then see, this product out on the field. It feels like they're kind of compounding, that result, in a negative way, and it's, they got Boys Latin on Saturday.
Yep.
They're going to be far better than this Kent Island team, and every mistake that they made today, BL's going to capitalize tenfold, right? So I think you got to go back to the drawing board a little bit, but ultimately it starts with the coaches and goes all the way down that depth chart. They came out flat. They managed to outplay them slightly in that first half. Had a little bit of a run.
7-3 lead.
Had a little bit of a run there, and then kind of came off the gas. And you can't have that. You got to have that killer mindset to go out and play whistle to whistle, regardless of who straps up and you're going against. So I think practice tomorrow will have a little bit of a different tone to it than they probably had on Saturday. But again, I think it starts top down, and it starts with energy and effort. And I expect a very, very tough-nosed practice tomorrow, kind of getting back, a course correction in anticipation of playing BL.
Cavaliers fall to 4-8 on the season. Kent Island improves to 6-1. Thank you all for joining us. Thanks to Paul Garza and his team for all of their hard work. For Sean Hatley, for Andrew Scally, I am Glenn Clark. Again, your final score here today, Kent Island 9, Archbishop Spalding 8. You've been watching Archbishop Spalding Lacrosse.